Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Jess, how you doing?
Hi there, how are you?
Good, I think. Working. Can you hear me? You got
Yeah,
me?
can you hear me?
Yeah, awesome. Good stuff. What's going on? Hey, Sarah, how you doing? How's the
I'm
puppy?
she's good.
Are you sure?
She no, she's doing very, very good. So I'm
Okay,
I'm very blessed that everything went well and hopefully it'll continue to go well for her. So
awesome. Nice. Very cool. Ivana's on the call. All right, ladies. So let's kind of dive into it. Jess, what's the win for the weekend or last week? What you got for us?
Um, following my meals and then getting back into the routine of just working out. I had a really like rough time sleeping still. So,
Yeah.
but I pushed through. So I'd say
Okay,
that
good. What's the is the rough sleeping just life at the moment? What's going on?
it's still my dog. Like
Yeah.
he's 18 and I don't want to say on his way out, but we know he's on his way out. So he's just
Gotcha.
having some so
Okay. All right. So not too much you can do at the moment, but I'll just say work
nope,
on quality versus quantity as best you can.
yep,
All
that's
right.
it.
Okay, good stuff. Sarah, what's your win for the week besides the pup getting through surgery?
I would have to say obviously getting having a couple few obstacles last week. It's nice to be caught up and back on schedule
Yeah,
of meal prepping and all of that stuff. So
awesome.
yep.
Nice. Good stuff. Loana, you got a win for us? Let's try that. Oh wait. That's a bit of phone tag. It's all right. Is it
There we
working? There
go.
we go.
Well, I was on vacation last week. I got my beach time in. I came
Yeah.
back rested, and when I hopped on the scale, I had lost a pound, which I was surprised. So,
Nice. Good
woo.
work. Awesome. Good stuff. Nice work. Christina, you got a win for us? If you can talk. Christina. Nothing. Nada. Okay, cool. We'll move on. All right. So there's a couple of things I want to dive in today. Normally we have the slideshow up and we're rocking with that, but today's conversation, I kind of just wanted to touch on some conversations I'd had with several people in the 8-week challenge and the training and all this kind of stuff, because it was a little bit more off topic and it was the common sort of theme with everyone. And I felt kind of the best way to address it was just me sort of having a conversation with you ladies, just so we can look at it from a different perspective. So number one is we're talking about protein, right? So protein is the one macronutrient that we are all struggling to hit or having some kind of fall short moment with it. Either we're not eating enough by the end of the day, or what we're doing is relying on fattier sources of protein, which then throws our fats off quite dramatically. So for everyone that's live with me today, or that's going to rewatch this, is there's a couple goals I want you to work on this week. And as we're moving into a new month, and you're all setting your goals, all that kind of stuff, I want you to look at when you're consuming most of your protein. If most of your protein is getting consumed at lunchtime or dinner, what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure a little bit, especially if you're struggling to get in your protein through the day. So I want you to have most of your protein in the morning or post workout, especially if you're working out earlier in the day. If at the moment you're hitting your protein and there's no real struggles, but maybe you just want to increase your protein, then you're fine. We just want to increase the portion size. But for those of you that are really struggling with it, you should be aiming to hit or consume at least 75% of your protein by the afternoon. Because if you're leaving, oh shit, I've got 80% of my protein still to consume at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's difficult for anyone, right? The other thing to remember is that the more you consume protein consistently through the day, the more satiated, so the more full you're going to feel, right? The less you're going to want to snack, the more regulated your blood sugar is going to be, and the more consistent your body is going to understand that food is coming in very regularly. So especially if you've gone from a state where you were maybe having a coffee in the morning, maybe skipping food until 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, eating some kind of healthy salad or grabbing a Subway and then eating whatever was in the fridge when you got home, your body doesn't know consistency when it comes to food. So a great way to change your body composition is not just eating right macros and not just lifting heavy weights. It's also with the right food coming in consistently through the day, right? So imagine that you are trying to grow a garden and you want the garden to give you fruits and vegetables. One of the best ways to do it is to like feed it water in the morning, feed it water in the afternoon if it's a hot day, and then maybe at the end of the day, or give it food consistently through the week, or feed it and look after it consistently, right? The more like sporadic you give the food or the water to the garden you're trying to consume, it's not going to produce as good of fruit or flowers as you would want, right? So you have to put care into yourself like you would with anything else, right? So the timing of your food, the amount of food that you're eating, just consistently through the day, the better you get at that, the easier the weight loss is going to be, the easier the maintaining of the weight loss is going to be, and then the better your body transformation is going to be, right? Because it's not just about losing 50 pounds or 100 pounds or whatever it is. It's also about, hey, I want to make sure I'm building muscle. I want to make sure that I'm getting good habits in place. I want to make sure that my body composition is changing. And the moment that you start now setting yourself up for those good habits, right, the easier the change of reverse dieting or eating to grow muscle essentially is going to be. Because if you have shitty eating habits now and you still manage to lose the 20 pounds, those habits are going to then follow you into the reverse dieting stage, or the stage where you need to start to, hey, I want to start putting on muscle. Okay, cool. You have to eat every 3 hours. You have to hit your protein. You have to make sure you've got your calories in for the day. You can't have the results that you want if you have shitty underlying habits now. Does that kind of make sense to everyone? Yep. Jess, what's your takeaway with that? Hold on, you're muted at the moment.
So I don't want to, I guess, come off like conceited, but I haven't ever really had a problem hitting my protein. I know when I first started with you, you actually were like, you're eating too much protein. So I know I messaged you earlier because I had watched one of your reels on Facebook, and it said about increasing protein like for 1 gram per like ideal weight. But I try to like really spread it out and not eat a lot of protein or like a massive amount at dinner. I find that like if I do that, I wake up in the morning feeling like really heavy and not I'm not hungry, and then I feel like I have to almost like balance myself out, or like, do like a fasted workout, which is horrible. So I really avoid like, and then this way it's almost like a flush of the system. Like, hey, your fiber, your carbs, all of that is like at the tail end. And I feel much better if I stick to that.
Yeah, 100%. Well said, because it kind of takes me to the next topic I wanted to talk about today as well, is our bodies are very old school machines, right? So when it comes to the way that we consume food, the way that we sleep, the way that we work out, essentially it's an old school machine designed to make sure that as the day progresses, our metabolism naturally slows down as well. After we do a heavy workout, right, our body's going to want to consume fuel because we just did a workout. It's exactly the same as if we went for a hunt in the forest, or we had to do some hard activity right outside. Our body's using energy that then our body's going to start to crave for. So this is why I said your biggest meal should technically be around your workout, right? Straight after your workout, because your body's going to want to eat as much, or rather, it's going to want to absorb as much fuel as possible post-workout. So not only for the carbohydrates or energy that was consumed and burnt through the workout by you doing stuff, but also because in that workout, you've torn down muscle, right? There's little microfiber tears you get from like the burn or the pain from doing the bicep curls, for example. You're going to want to repair that muscle. Best way to repair that muscle is by feeding it protein, right? So we have to feed the muscle protein. So now when we're talking about your metabolism and we're talking about when your body naturally starts to slow down, Jess, as you mentioned, if you're eating too late and your protein is too heavy, your body can only do one of two things at night. Either it's going to digest the food, right, that's in your system, or it's going to help you sleep and then repair. You can only do one or the other. 9 times out of 10, it's going to digest the food, right? Which means you're going to have shitty sleep. Because if you have like a big bowl of pasta, for example, and then go to bed, you may fall asleep really easy from the food coma. But what you might find is that you wake up at like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock with this sudden spike of energy. It's because your body's started to digest that food and then converted all of those carbohydrates into energy that your body's going like, oh, fuck, we've got all this energy. Let's go for a run. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning, right? It wants to do something with that energy. So if you find that you're struggling with sleep at the moment, or falling asleep is difficult, or staying asleep is difficult, I want you to bring back your last meal. So I want you to eat earlier and further away from when you go to bed. So if you go to bed, or if you're in bed by, let's say, 9:30 or 10, then giving yourself at least 2 to 3 hours of your last meal consumed before you go to bed. So you have that space of digestion, right? The only reason that we have such a big end of day meal is because it's been programmed into us through social life, through social media, through end of day activity, right? It used to happen where the guys would come home from work and there would be food on the table because they've spent 10 hours in the mine shaft doing hard work and they needed food at the end of the day, right? They haven't spent 8 hours in an office and then come home and eaten 2,000 calories, for example, or gone out and consumed margaritas and tacos until it's coming out of your ears and then try to go to bed, right? So we want to make sure that if you find that you are struggling to fall asleep, like I mentioned, that you start to eat a little bit earlier, or you start to follow the transition of the sun. So as the sun rises, your heavier meals are in the morning or around lunchtime. And then as the sun starts to set, either you eat less heavy carbs, which means just some greenery, like salad, some easy to digest food, right? You stay away from starchy stuff. You stay away from heavy potatoes. You stay away from like super heavy vegetables that you might find sit heavy in your stomach, like pasta, rice, that kind of stuff. But you lean more into easy to digest proteins. So whitefish, salmon, tuna, that kind of stuff, super easy, super light on the stomach. And then you can start to look at your fats as well. If you are managing to save fats for the end of the day, having things like omelets, scrambled eggs, that kind of stuff at the end of the day for your last meal is going to be a lot easier for your body to digest quicker. So you're kind of going to bed on an empty stomach, right? So again, this is training your body that, hey, my last heavy or big meal is going to be earlier in the day. So maybe around your workout, or maybe around lunch, or maybe it's your breakfast. And then your body has plenty of time to digest those carbohydrates, to store the carbohydrates, to help those carbs get to your muscles, right? There's nothing worse than going to bed 15 minutes after having a huge meal, because your body's just going to be wanting to digest that. And then also you're lying down, so it's harder for your digestive system, the whole bunch of stuff. If you find that you can't do that and you need to eat a little bit later for whatever reason, then try to walk after your last meal. So again, try and make your last meal around 7 or 8 at the latest, right? And then go for a 15-minute walk, even if it's just walking the dog through the neighborhood, getting on your own treadmill at home, whatever it is, but it's just going to help the digestive process to make sure that that meal is not sitting heavy in your stomach, all right? Sarah, what's your takeaway with that?
I used to do exactly what she used to do, and he's right when it comes to especially eating earlier. Like this is actually about the time I eat my last meal for the day.
Yeah.
That way I'm not so like too full that when I go to bed at 9, I'm going to be able to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So definitely what you're saying is is true, is to try to, you know, eat your last meal earlier.
Perfect. So if you were going to give advice to someone that was going to start that or struggling with that at the moment, what advice would you give to either your old self or to this new person that would be starting this of like eating earlier?
Definitely consume the protein in the morning and during the afternoon. And yes, you can still have your protein and a few carbs like your vegetables and stuff at dinner. What I do is if I'm still a little bit low on my protein, I go for the egg whites, whether I either cook them or drink them. So
Okay, awesome.
that's, you know, that's just the way that if you're getting to the dinner point and you've done as much as you possibly can with your proteins in the morning and during the afternoon,
Yep.
and you find yourself a little bit short, just to grab something like that where you don't have your carbs and your fat in there.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
So
On the money.
yeah.
Good stuff, Sarah. Brilliant. We talk about, okay, so the last and final thing I want to talk about is, I'm sure I've spoken to most of the people, but it's okay. We're going to talk about your goals moving into August. So I want your top 3 goals that you want to focus on as you move into August. So one has to be training or body related. One has to be nutrition related. And one has to be habits or standard related. So these have to be measurable in some kind of way, right? So for example's sake, if you wanted to increase your protein, then we want to make sure that, hey, my goal for August is to hit my protein every single day. All right, cool. So how are we going to do that as opposed to what you've been struggling with in the past? So this can be things like, I'm going to eat most of my protein by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So 75% of my protein is consumed, or I'm going to do better with my meal prep or whatever that is, right? So you're going to write down these 3 goals, and then you're going to put it in the chat for everyone to see, because it's not only accountability with me, but it's also accountability with everyone else. And then I'm going to ask for weekly updates, right? Then number 2 is with your, like I said, with your body or your training. Cool. Is there something specific you want to get better at? Is there something like exercise-wise you want to get stronger at or learn or improve in some kind of way? And then again, how are we going to measure that? So let's just say squats, right? So I want to improve my squats this month, or I want to do more squats. Cool. So where are your squats at the moment? If you can only do body weight, how many can you do? And then how do you want to improve it? Do you want to start using weights, or do you want to start just incorporating more reps every single day? All right. And then 3rd is your habits and your standards. So is there a habit at the moment that is holding you back from achieving your goals? Is there something that you know that you're doing that isn't helping you progress? So how can we get rid of that habit? So let's just say you were binge eating a tub of ice cream at the end of the day. Cool. So how do we fix that? Stop buying fucking ice cream, number 1. But let's make sure. Lavona, I swearing, like when I swear, it gets you every time, and I love it. That's great. And then obviously, if it's a habit around sleeping, right, how can we improve it? Or how can we, for example, like add a better bedtime or start to eat earlier, like we've discussed in the call today, all right? So let's make sure that we have an actual goal we're working towards and something that we can measure, right? Sound good? That's your homework for today. So I want you to send them to me individually, right, before August starts, which is Wednesday. And then once we've sort of developed them a little bit, then I'm going to get you to post them in the group so everyone else can see, right? Because it's, like I said, it's accountability for everyone. And then every single week, we're going to go through some updates. So on the Monday call, we're going to go through updates, how we're doing, what's happening, what are you struggling with, all the individual calls, we're going to see where you're at, all right? Then as we move into August, same thing that we do every single month. The first week of August, the first 7 days, you have your mountain workout. Jess, you look super excited about it. And then you have your 2 letters, right? Your apology letter and your love letter. Again, these are non-negotiable. So stuff you have to get done, right? So your letter has to be, sorry, your love letter and your apology letter has to be written out to yourself after the mountain workout. You're going to do the mountain workout, then you're going to sit down, even if you're sweaty and you want to yell at me and you hate me, that's fine, I don't care. But you're going to write out the love letter and the apology letter, all right? If you don't have a mountain workout for this month, then please shoot me a message and we'll put one together for you. But again, it has to be difficult, right? If you've been getting stronger, if you've been getting fitter, can't keep doing the same workout because it's too easy. All right, make sense? Good, perfect. Moving forward in August, everything else is going to stay the same. Thursday calls is I'm going to remove that for the moment, just purely because the show up rate's been pretty poor. So I'm just going to keep Monday calls as a group coaching call from now on. As I'm sure of you are aware, like I went through a whole bunch of personal stuff in the last coming months. So I'm going to start to add more people on the roster with regards to wanting to bring more clients on board. Now that I'm in a bit more of a set space and I know what's kind of happening. So as more clients come on board over the next coming months, then I might bring back the Thursday call. But at the moment, we're just going to be doing Monday calls moving forward. All right, cool. Same time, same place, same channel, same accent, everything's staying the same. All right, cool. If you need anything else from me, let me know. But then if not, I'll see you for your individual check-in calls this week. And if you need anything with the mountain workout, please shoot me a message because it has to get done within the first 7 days. All right, cool. Good stuff. All right, any questions before I go? Jess, good? No? Cool.
No, I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Sarah, good? Cool. Lavona, good? Cool. Awesome stuff. Have a brilliant afternoon, and then we'll see you through the week. Go work on your goals, please. Bye.